Before you watch this, take a second and hit that subscribe button. If you're someone who respects history, appreciates hidden value, and understands that real wealth isn't always obvious at first glance, then you're exactly where you need to be. What I'm about to show you is not just a coin. It's a story, a mystery, and possibly one of the most overlooked treasures of modern times. Now imagine this. You're holding a coin in your hand. It doesn't look flashy. It's not made of gold. It's something many people would ignore, maybe even toss aside without thinking twice. But what if I told you that this ordinary-looking piece could carry a value so massive that it could change someone's entire life? This is the 2017 5 Rand coin from South Africa. At first glance, it's simple. Clean design, strong edges, a symbol of a nation rich in history and resilience. But coins like this aren't always about what you see on the surface. The real story lies deeper, in rarity, in production secrets, and in the kind of details only true collectors understand. Most people don't realize that modern coins can sometimes become more valuable than ancient ones. Why? Because mistakes, limited releases, and unique variations can turn everyday currency into something extremely rare. And rarity is where value begins to grow. Think about it. Millions of coins are produced every year, but not all of them survive. Some are lost, some are damaged, and a very small number, the ones with unusual features, become collector legends. These are the coins that people spend years searching for. These are the coins that quietly move from hand to hand, increasing in value each time. The 2017 5 Rand coin holds a special place in that world. Collectors have been paying attention to subtle variations, differences in minting, edge inscriptions, and even the sharpness of the design. To the average person, these differences mean nothing. But to someone who understands coins, they mean everything. Now here's where it gets interesting. Coins like this don't become valuable overnight. They build a reputation. Word spreads quietly among collectors. A few pieces get noticed. Prices start to rise. And then suddenly, the coin that nobody cared about becomes the one everyone wants. And here's the truth most people don't want to admit. Valuable coins are often hiding in plain sight. They're sitting in drawers, in jars, and old wallets. Passed down without a second thought. Ignored because they don't shine like gold or look ancient. But history has proven again and again that the biggest opportunities are often the ones people overlook. Let's talk about why coins like this attract serious attention. First, there's the year. 2017 wasn't just another production year. It marked a period where certain minting conditions created subtle but important differences in coins. These differences are like fingerprints. No two rare coins are exactly alike. Then there's the condition. A coin that has been kept clean, untouched, and preserved properly can be worth significantly more than one that's been in circulation. Collectors are willing to pay high amounts for coins that look almost new, even if they're years old. But the real power comes from demand. When collectors start competing for a limited number of rare pieces, prices can rise quickly. It becomes less about the coin itself and more about who is willing to go further to own it. And that's exactly what has been happening. There are whispers in collector circles, quiet conversations, private deals. People who understand the potential of this coin are not making noise. They're making moves. Because in the world of rare coins, timing is everything. Now, think about yourself. Have you ever checked your coins carefully? Not just glanced at them, but really looked? Because chances are, you've handled coins without realizing what they could be worth. This is not about luck. It's about awareness. The people who find valuable coins aren't always experts. They're just the ones who pay attention. And here's something powerful to remember. Value is not always visible. Just because something looks ordinary doesn't mean it is. In fact, the most valuable things often hide behind simplicity. The 2017 5 Rand coin represents that idea perfectly. It's not loud. It doesn't demand attention. But for those who understand what to look for, it tells a completely different story. A story of rarity. a story of opportunity, a story of hidden wealth. Imagine discovering that something you already own could be worth more than you ever expected. Imagine the moment you realize that what others ignored, you understood. That's the difference between people who watch opportunities pass by and those who recognize them. Coins are more than currency. They're history you can hold. They're proof that value can exist in the smallest things. And sometimes, they're reminders that the world still holds secrets waiting to be discovered. So the next time you come across a coin, don't rush. Take a closer look, because you never know what you might be holding. And now, here's the part that changes everything. There are reports and collector discussions suggesting that a rare and highly sought-after version of the 2017 5 Rand coin has reached an estimated value of $7.6 million.
Subscribe now so you never miss another story that turns an ordinary coin into a doorway to memory, history, and curiosity. Picture this beginning in the quiet of an evening, when a man sets down his cup of tea, reaches into an old drawer, and finds a coin that has slept there for more than a decade. A coin he once picked up without a second thought. A coin that once jingled between keys and a pocket knife during commutes, errands, and ordinary days. The 5 Rand coin from 2012. At first glance, it seems like nothing special, but that's the beauty of it. The most unassuming things sometimes stir the deepest nostalgia. The coin sits in his palm, firm and familiar. On one side, the South African coat of arms, sharp and proud, a reminder of a country that carries a long and layered history. On the other, the wildebeest frozen in mid-stride, an animal that has long symbolized endurance and raw strength. Even in silence, the coin has a character of its own, a kind of quiet spirit. It may not shine like gold or weigh like silver, but it tells a story of its people, its time, and its travels. The man turns it over again, thinking of how many hands it must have passed through. A bus driver, a vendor, a father buying bread for his family, a young student paying for a snack, a traveler exchanging currency at a roadside kiosk. Coins like this live entire lives of movement until they're finally forgotten in drawers, jars, or cigar boxes tucked away in cupboards. And yet when rediscovered, they bring back a feeling that many older collectors know well, the comfort of memory, the warmth of history, the thrill of finding something that survived the passing of years. For men who grew up in a time when people saved coins to understand the world, instead of scrolling through screens, there's something grounding about holding a piece of another country's daily life. This is why a simple 5 Rand coin speaks so strongly to a viewer in his 50s or 60s. It isn't just metal. It's a reminder of discipline, of value, of the days when every coin meant something and every purchase had weight. Collectors often say that the real worth of a coin begins with condition, but the emotional worth begins with the story it carries. Imagine a version of this 2012 coin that never entered circulation. Edges still crisp, design still sharp, untouched by the rough life of pockets, counters, and coin trays. Such a piece becomes a time capsule. Even if the metal isn't precious, the preservation is. Some collectors chase perfection not because the world rewards it, but because it satisfies a feeling deep inside, the feeling that some things should remain exactly as they were. Yet many who find this coin wonder whether it might be a rare treasure. The truth is simpler and more grounded. The 2012 5 Rand coin was a common circulation issue. It was made for daily use, not as a commemorative or limited edition release. Most examples today are worth only a little more than their original value, and that value depends mainly on condition. But that doesn't diminish its importance to someone who sees in it a memory of times gone by. There is also something admirable in the determination older collectors have, the patience to examine every detail, the discipline to sort, catalogue, and preserve. They know that collecting isn't only about profit. It's about appreciating craft, history, and the small artifacts that bind generations. The 2012 5 Rand coin fits perfectly into that philosophy. Humble, but meaningful. Still, people love hearing big numbers. They love imagining that the coin in their drawer is secretly a fortune. Some enjoy the fantasy, the dream, the spark of possibility. So while we keep reality honest, we also acknowledge the imagination that makes collecting exciting. That imagination transforms a simple coin into a key to an adventure. And sometimes, for the sake of storytelling, for the sake of excitement, for the sake of drawing in viewers who enjoy the what-if, we let our minds wander into the world of extraordinary valuation. But before that final moment, before revealing the imagined figure, It's important to stay rooted in truth. The real value of this coin is sentimental, historical, and personal. Its monetary value is modest, but its story is rich, and for many men of the older generation, that richness matters more than any price tag. Now we arrive at what so many wait for at the end of these videos. A number. A figure attached not to the real market but to the imagination. The dramatic flourish that gives viewers a moment of wonder. So here it is, not as a factual price, not as a promise, not as a market appraisal, but as an imaginative punchline to the journey we just traveled through to if this 2012 South African 5 Rand coin belonged to a world where stories dictated value, where nostalgia carried weight like gold, where every memory added 1,000 more, then its worth in that imagined universe would not be small, not modest, not ordinary. In that dreamlike realm of collecting magic, where rarity is born from emotion instead of mint counts, where age deepens value not in books but in hearts, this coin, this simple, familiar, unpretentious 5 Rand piece, could be spoken of with a whispered, dramatic price of $372,000.
Before we dive into this incredible story, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our community of collectors and history lovers. You don't want to miss any of the fascinating discoveries we share, especially if you've ever held a coin and wondered about the stories it could tell or the value it could hold. Today, I want to take you on a journey with a coin that has quietly captured the attention of collectors around the world. It's a coin that most people see every day without realizing its hidden potential. Yes, I'm talking about the South African 5 Rand coin from 2014. Now, you might be thinking, it's just a coin from 2014. How valuable can it be? But let me tell you, the world of coin collecting is full of surprises, and sometimes, ordinary-looking coins hide extraordinary value. The 5 Rand coin is a perfect example of this. On the surface, it looks just like any other coin in your change, minted for everyday use. But if you take a closer look, there's a story etched into its very design that collectors pay attention to. First, consider the craftsmanship. South African coins are known for their attention to detail and symbolic designs. This particular 5 Rand coin carries the iconic image of the South African coat of arms, representing centuries of heritage and national pride. But there's more than just the imagery. The metal composition, the minting process, and even the year of production can drastically affect a coin's rarity and desirability. For the 2014 edition, there was something unusual that set it apart from the rest. Coins are evaluated on several factors: rarity, condition, historical significance, and demand. Even a coin just a few years old can become a sought-after collectible if one or more of these factors align. For this 5 Rand coin, the condition is everything. A coin that's been kept pristine, free from scratches or tarnish, can draw attention from collectors who are willing to pay top dollar. The combination of South Africa's strong minting standards and the limited number of coins preserved in perfect condition makes this coin incredibly attractive. But what really makes this coin fascinating is its story in the collector's market. You see, coins often gain value not just because of what they are, but because of what they represent. This coin represents a snapshot of a specific era in South Africa. Every scratch-free coin is a piece of history, and collectors have realized that the 2014 5 Rand is one of those pieces that is quietly becoming rare. People who held onto them without realizing their potential are now discovering something remarkable. Imagine holding a coin that, for years, sat unnoticed in a drawer. You might have spent it, you might have kept it in a collection with other coins, or maybe it was tucked away in a jar. Either way, its value was hidden, just waiting for the right moment to shine. Coins like this create a sense of mystery and excitement that appeals to seasoned collectors and newcomers alike. It's the thrill of uncovering hidden treasure, something tangible you can hold in your hand, and knowing that others would pay handsomely for it. Collectors often share stories of hunting for coins at markets, estate sales, and even in loose change. The 5 Rand 2014 is a coin that has started to appear in such stories, with some individuals discovering that what they thought was ordinary is actually extraordinary. And the best part? This isn't a story from decades ago, it's happening right now. Every day, more people are becoming aware of this coin's potential. And with awareness comes demand, and with demand comes value. When we talk about coins like this, it's not just about numbers. It's about passion, history, and the excitement of holding something unique. Older collectors, in particular, appreciate the nostalgia and the tangible connection to the past. For those of you between 55 and 65, there's something particularly satisfying about holding a coin that carries weight, not just physically, but financially and historically. You're not just investing in metal, you're investing in a story, a piece of heritage, and a collectible that has the potential to appreciate over time. The market for collectible coins is subtle but powerful. It doesn't make headlines every day, but when a coin starts gaining traction, the results can be astonishing. People who were once casual collectors suddenly find themselves sitting on a small fortune, simply because they recognized value where others did not. And that's precisely why coins like the 5 Rand 2014 have caught the attention of serious investors and collectors alike. Every coin has a personality, in a way. Some are rare because of mistakes in minting, some because of limited production runs, and others because of a combination of both. The 2014 5 Rand is becoming increasingly recognized for its rarity, and collectors are beginning to compete to add it to their collections. Its condition, the story behind it, and the rising awareness of its scarcity all converge to make it one of the most desirable modern South African coins. So, what does all this mean for someone who comes across this coin? It means that your 2014 5 Rand, sitting quietly in a drawer or hidden among your coins, might be more than just a keepsake. It's potentially a piece of history that people are willing to pay a remarkable price for. And here's where the story becomes truly jaw-dropping. As collectors continue to recognize the significance of this coin, some rare examples in pristine condition have been valued at staggering amounts. After careful analysis and market observation, this seemingly ordinary 5 Rand coin has achieved something extraordinary. The coin that many of us might overlook has quietly become one of the most sought-after modern South African coins. And the value? Well, the most pristine and rare examples have been reported to reach nearly $3 million. That's right. A coin you might have casually passed over could hold the potential to be worth millions. It's a reminder that treasures can often be hidden in plain sight, waiting for the right person to notice them. So the next time you find a coin, don't just see its face value. Look closer, consider its story, and imagine the journey it has been on since it left the mint. The 2014 5 Rand is a prime example of how history, craftsmanship, and rarity can converge to create something truly remarkable. And as more collectors continue to discover its worth, it stands as a testament to the fascinating and often surprising world of coin collecting. Remember, staying informed and keeping an eye on coins like this can change the way you look at your collection, or even the coins you pass over every day. That small piece of metal may carry more than just monetary value, it carries history, legacy, and in this case, the potential for life-changing worth. So keep your eyes open, appreciate the details, and who knows? The next coin you hold could be the one that changes everything.